It's just that easy. Alright. Time to get some studying done. My study session with Mio concluded, and we finished eating dinner not too long ago. Now, sitting at the dining room table, I open up the book in front of me. Calculus B. I can't read any of this. I'm going to do some self-studying for next week's tests.
勉強を頑張るのはいいけれど、どうしてわざわざこんなところで?
What's wrong with here?
自分の部屋があるんだから、そこですればいいのに。邪魔も入らないだろうから、そうした方が集中できるだろ?
Well, look at it another way. If I study in my room, not a single person will take notice of all the hard work I'm putting in, so I'll feel like an idiot and probably give up within the hour. I continue scribbling with my pen despite how poorly this is going already. Right. I haven't the faintest clue what I'm doing.
しかしあれだ。こんなこといつまで続くかな?
Look, you've seen Shinku's memories, alright? You know how smart she is, right? Why don't you get her to tutor you? Huh?
日記を書くのもめんどくさがるのに、それを試験勉強だなんて。
Well, you know, it's technically to fulfill Shinku's wish, so... You think it's weird that I'm trying to study?
そうだな。らしくはないんじゃないかって思うよ。
I mean, that is true. She smiles awkwardly.
だから、3日持てばいい方なんじゃないかな?
3 days? You gotta be kidding.
だといいな。
Why do I get the feeling you're messing with me right now?
そうだな。そうかもしれない。ユーマがいつまで頑張れるか楽しみだ。
So I'm just some monkey dancing for your entertainment, huh? Eh?
そんなことはないけどな。でも、再テストに合格するしない以前に、ユーマは参加すらしないんじゃないかって私は思う。
Of course I'm... going... I didn't even have the conviction to finish my sentence. That's just sad. Iku knows me a little too well.
とにかく、いつまで続くか見ものだなって思うんだ。
You know what?
Hmm?
I think I'm feeling a bit more determined to pass these tests now.
そうなのか?
He's doing it out of spite. Yeah. Kind of ticked me off thank you when you started assuming I was doomed to fail from the onset. I want to pass it and prove you wrong now, no matter what.
負けず嫌いの典型というか、本領発揮だな。
No. Yes. But no, he hasn't lost yet. He cracks a slight grin.
それなら頑張れ。私だって応援していないわけじゃないんだ。いつまで頑張れるかは知らないけど。
As long as it lasts until the tests.
幼馴染のために?
No. To make good on our promise.
頑張れ。
Thanks.
毎晩の日記も忘れずに。
So that means studying is going to be part of my daily routine now, alongside the diary entries. Two things I both hate. Either way, Mia said she'd do any one thing for me if I passed the tests. Even go on a date with me, apparently. Though I only suggested that jokingly. The fact that she accepted, though, means that this is now morphed into a completely different problem. Was this a self-fulfilling prophecy? Or have I just struck gold? Well, either way. What started as a mere joke has now become something quite serious.
そういえばテストに合格するには何点取ればいいんだ？
All of them. I think Mio said that the cutoff line is at 60%. Wait, hang on. Oh, what score do you need to pass? I thought she said which test you need to pass.
大丈夫そうか？
Well, he needs to get 60 points.
まずいのか？
I think that's a question better answered when I get my grades back. As Shinko and I banter, I continue to grapple with the unfamiliar task of studying alone, studying on his own.
何してるの？
Nothing. I'm definitely not talking to myself. What makes you think that? Huh? I look over to see Kyo standing right next to me. Jeez, you scared me.
そう？
She cocks her head.
お兄ちゃん、それってもしかしてお勉強？学校の？
Yep, that's what I'm doing. I smile a little as I reply. I'm a pretty good student, you know. Go ahead and shower me with praise. Praise fuels my motivation.
ふーん。
What do you mean me for? She's looking at me like I'm some sort of weirdo.
それはそうと、ここのテレビでゲームをしてもいい？
You want to play a game on the TV here?
大丈夫。一般のだから。
Yeah. Yeah, like how Nekopara was all ages. No, I wasn't. Wait, what do you mean all ages?
そう。モザイクがないやつ。
Really?
本当。
It's just an all ages patch of a Erage. A Erage. Yikes. This better not be one of those games where the brother's blatantly lusting for his blood-related little sister.
何言ってるの？
Not even a moment after I said that. She eyes me with an expression bordering on exasperation. No, idiot. It's not about a brother lusting over his blood-related sister. It's about a sister lusting over his blood-related brother. It's
美少女
different.
ゲームに妹もの以外なんて存在しないの。
What? Is that true? I mean, you know, unless one of the characters with a route is Yuma's sister, long lost sister, this is a visual novel that doesn't have that.
美少女と書いて実舞と読むの。最新の流行語では。
Okay.
とにかく学生にも安心の一方なので。
I guess you can go ahead and play it if you wanna. The question remains though. Why here?
部屋が埃っぽいから。
He sniffles loudly.
ハウスダストがひどいの。
You do realize that the dust is still gonna be there when you get back, right? Right.
だから逃げてきた。
I see. Say, why don't we clean your room together sometime?
いや、
Oh. No? Wholly ignoring my questioning gaze, she proceeds to hook up her game console to the dining room TV.
お兄ちゃんも一緒にやろうよ。お勉強なんて放置プレイでいいって思うの。
But it's a visual novel. Wait, is it? She said all ages, but that doesn't mean that it's a visual novel. You know I can't do that. Chastity belt, seriously? Her bizarre choice of words aside, it certainly would be nice if my studying took care of itself whilst I went away and did something else. Actually, aren't the vast majority of dating sims and visual novels single-player games? Come to think of it, I thought most of these games were the type where you can't play them around other people because it's too embarrassing.
そんなことないの。
That's also because Joe doesn't know the meaning of embarrassment. Really?
もちろん一人でやるのも面白いけど、みんなで一緒にワイワイプレイするのも楽しいって聞いたの。
Are we talking about the same games here? He nods.
最近のナウなお友達同士では、それが互いの信仰を確かめ合うための通過儀礼だと聞いたことがあるから。
You, seem to think quite highly of these cool friends.
なんだか不思議な結束力が出来上がるんだって。
I'd rather not picture that, thanks.
だから一緒にやろうよ、お兄ちゃん。私との親密度を上げるため、可愛い妹を手ごめにするために頑張るの。
I'm not playing with you, and that's that. I crack a strained smile.
それなら前みたいに格闘ゲームでもいいから一緒にやろう。
Yeah, and at least this time he won't be a petty fucking loser. And beat you. But, you know, he's studying, so the answer should be no. So, Yuma, you better not betray me. Or Mio, in that fact. The genre of game isn't the problem here. I need to be studying right now.
どうして勉強なんかするの？燃えるの？
No, he has a childhood friend fetish. Not in the slightest. I shake my head, still smiling awkwardly. It's Mio. Yeah, I don't have a book fetish, idiot. I have a Mio fetish. He said that if I get good grades on these tests, she'll do anything I want.
なんでも？
Yeah, she gets it. Yep, anything.
性的なことでも？
Probably not. No. If I even dared to suggest something like that to her, yeah, I probably wouldn't live to see another day.
そうなんだ。
If someone has the determination to have you pass a test, you'd feel kind of bad not trying your best, right?
それじゃあ。私も今日中にこのゲームをクリアしたらご褒美くれる？
No, probably not. How is that in any way related to what I was just talking about? I smile wryly. Actually, my face has been glued to this position for practically the duration of this conversation. Shifting my attention back to my studying, I continue to run my pen across the page.
ちょっと二人とも何やってるの？
Nothing. I mean, studying. Huh? What on earth is going on? When I look back in front of me, I realize that I'm playing the game with Joe. Excuse me? Temptation had apparently gotten the best of me. I am disappointed, and Mio is more disappointed.
勉強頑張ってるのかと思ったらゲームだなんて。
It's not what you think, I promise. Game content itself, though, isn't helping my case much. The girl on the screen the girl on the screen smiles at me amicably. We're tackling her route today. Her name is Sayori, and she is our little sister, blood related, of course. As for her feminine curves, there are none, so to speak, of. Oh my god. Her character archetype. She loves her brother greatly, but the way in which she shows her affection is a little borderline stalker who monitors her brother's every move every day like a hawk, and thinks that she has to jot down every single detail in order to affirm her love for her. His love for her. Wait. Yes. Would cover the principal aspect of her personality, and then rest omitted. Okay. See, what did I tell you? It was not a brother lusting for his sister. It's a sister lusting for her brother. So, what would I label her archetype as? Yandere? I guess.
ちょっとお兄ちゃんと一緒に妹大好きな美少女ゲームを。美少女ゲーム？
It's not my look. He's the one who was playing it. Alright? No, don't listen to her, Mio, dear.
違うって何が？
I'm studying. That's a very good question. I have no excuses to offer. I feel like a middle schooler whose mother had just discovered some of his most private and inappropriate possessions.
ねえユウマ。
Yeah?
女の子と一緒にそういうゲームをして面白いの？
I mean, you know, somewhat. As a matter of fact, he was right. Playing the game with her was surprisingly fun. Yeah, you got to alternate between who pressed the A button. Although also very awkward at the same time. There was some sort of thrill or excitement to it. Either way, it is fun, I fully admit. Her withering gaze pierces through me, stabbing keenly through my flesh, bones, and organs.
ねえ、幼馴染に質問してもいい？
You cannot call her that, Kyo.
え？幼馴染って私のこと？そうなの。今お兄ちゃんにお勉強頑張れってそう言ってるって聞いたの。本当？そうね。だってこのままじゃユウマ留年だってありえちゃうし。そうなんだ。それじゃ幼なじみは何を頑張るの？え？どういうこと？お兄ちゃんだけ頑張るのは不公平なんじゃないかって思うの。
Also, by the way, Mio, this is not Yuma's idea, alright? This is Kyo's idea. Don't blame him. Wait, don't just speak on my behalf.
お兄ちゃんは優柔が不断だからそう言うけど。
Correct. But that's beside the point. Huh?
でも一方的なのは良くないんじゃないかって私そう思うの。
Wait, hold up, Kyo. How am I indecisive?
だからここは平等性を重視する必要があるの。
You flat out ignored me. That kind of hurts, but to be honest, am I really indecisive?
平等？そうなの。お兄ちゃんが頑張ってる間は幼なじみも何かを頑張ればいいって思うの。それで平等。 不満はどこからも発生しようがないの。
それ自体は別にいいけど、でも私は何を頑張ればいいの？
ゲーム。
How did I know it was gonna link back to games?
幼なじみは美少女ゲームを頑張ればいい。
なんで私がそんなこと？それのどこが平等なの？
She furrows her brow, forming a sour expression.
お兄ちゃんは勉強を頑張る。幼なじみは。
ちょっと待って。今更かもしれないけれど、その呼び方はやめてほしいかも。幼なじみっていう固有名詞で呼ぶのは。
No, your name is Resident Childhood Friend.
名前で呼んでくれたら嬉しいんだけど。
そう？それじゃあツンデレちゃんは。
Based Kyo.
待って、それ私の名前じゃない。その呼ばれ方も嫌。
じゃあなんて呼べばいいの？
どうして私が聞き分けのないやつみたいな感じになってるの？
わかった。それじゃあ如月美桜で。
フルネーム？
Hold on a minute. Something just came to me. So you're a tsundere. I feel like I've made a new discovery here. If she had a list of character traits somewhere, that would now be listed there as a new addition.
何がなるほど、ツンデレよ。バカじゃないの？
Yes, you're right about that. Do you know what the term tsundere means?
それくらいは知ってる。最近はよくテレビでやってるもの。
Ah, okay.
私思うの。9対1。ツンが9割、デレが1割。これがツンデレの黄金比なの。
What does that have to do with the golden ratio? Oh, it's a golden ratio. What is it? What do you mean? Getting to the dairy stage with a girl like that sure seems like a long, arduous task. Then again, only 10% of her personality. So you have to wonder if it'd even be worth it at that point.
不足のデレは受け手が勝手に想像を膨らませるのが楽しいの。だから世間には薄い本がたくさん出てるんだよ、お兄ちゃん。
That's why 60-40 is the best ratio. Oh, really? Which one's the 60 and which one's the 40? I'll never tell. There's still so much I don't know about the world. As for what these fan fictions are about, I think that's a topic better left untouched.
とにかく今如月美桜は9割のツン状態のただ中なの。
Ah, okay. Very enlightening.
ちょっと何を納得だなみたいな顔してるのよ。
I'm not really agreeing. I'm just entertaining the possibility. Even if the light at the end of the tunnel only ends up being 10% dairy, I'll take it.
はあ？何？私にデレッキがあるとでも？
What? You want?
なーに？未来英語ありえない？
Dang. My mood has reached rock bottom. If a 90-20 ratio wasn't bad enough, she's now 100-0.
とにかく如月美桜はお兄ちゃんと逆。
逆？
そう、お兄ちゃんは留年を避けるためにお勉強を。美少女ゲームは不潔なものっていうその先入観の目を払拭するために、如月美音は娯楽の幅を広げるためにゲームを頑張るの。
だからどうして私がそんなことを。
それはさっきも言ったの。お兄ちゃんばかり頑張るのは不公平だって。それに如月美音、ゲームはとってもとっても面白い。頑張ろうって力を振り絞るのは最初だけ。あとはずっとずーっと楽しいばかり。だからお兄ちゃんにしてみれば幼なじみは遊んでるばかりじゃないかって、そういう不満が出るかもしれないけど。
I don't think that's gonna happen.
とにかくそういうわけなので、一回でいいからやってみてほしいって思う。私のおすすめたくさんあるから。きっともうこの現実世界には帰ってこれなくなっちゃってもいいかって、そんな気持ちになってくるの。
As I gaze continually at Kyo's exuberant expression, a thought strikes me. Kyo,
何？
you're just using me for your own entertainment, aren't you? You're conjuring up all these weird arguments and logic so you can rope someone into playing your favorite games.
そんなこと。
She turns her head, avoiding my gaze.
ないの。
Well, whatever. You know, Mio, you don't have to pay attention to her. It's just a game after all. Yeah, you're right. Kyo's using Mio for her own amusement. Just ignore all the stuff she's saying about...
いいわ。
は？
わかったわよ。やるわよ。やればいいんでしょ。
Mio? Are you being serious?
本気。私は嘘が嫌いなの。わ
ーい。
Nah. Her yay was elongated with about 5 A's. Hang on. Can you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he was not wrong.
ユーマが来週再テストを受けるまででしょ。それくらい軽いわよ。
Games are meant to be enjoyed, though. You shouldn't force yourself to play if you don't want to.
無理なんてしてない。
Yeah, me whenever I play a visual novel. But
してないの。
she presses her lips indignantly.
してないんだから。
Then she puts her hands on her hips and is it glowers or glowers at me? I don't know. Okay. I know what this is. This is the face Mio pulls when she's gotten herself in too far and can't get back down. Perhaps it's because she's grown so much. Or perhaps it's my poor memory at work again. I know that she's changed in some ways since we were kids, but I feel a tiny sense of relief knowing that some things about her never do change.
うん、そうよね。確かにユーマだけ頑張るっていうのは不公平よね。だから私もやる。頑張るの。
I was absolutely right. The stubbornness of hers hasn't changed in the least. In fact, how to say that her core personality is fundamentally the same now as it was back then. And it's those bits of her personality. It's those that put a smile on my face. It'd be cool if you got into video games too, Mio. We might even end up being able to play fighting games together or something.
そうね。
Damn, just as they talked about fighting games, I got a Steam notification that someone was playing Tekken 8. It quickly looks the other way.
でもゲームなんて久しぶりだから上達するまで時間かかると思う。
Has it been that long?
うん。コントローラーにマイクがついてるやつしか触ったことないもの。
Ah, I see. This might be hitting a little too close to home, but anyhow. If I had to sum up who Mio is in as few words as possible, I would say this. He's the stereotypical honors student. Which is why I actually kind of agree with Kyo's suggestion. Might be a good idea to expose Mio to some fun and entertainment.
大丈夫。操作は簡単。心配しなくてもいい。言ったでしょ。基本的に決定ボタンだけ押せたら先へ先へと進行するタイプのゲームばかりを選ぶから。
Yeah, but remembering which button will be really hard to... It'll be really hard to remember. That was... Knowing which button to press is really hard to remember. Yeah, that works. I'm starting to worry about this quite a lot. I'm sure it'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Oh god, now she's addicted to video games. Mio's trial to work hard by playing slight oxymoron aside began the very next day without delay. I watch her idly from the dining room table where I study.
で、ゲームをするって約束したけど、これから何をすればいいの？
ちょっと待って。
Yeah, Mio, you get the shitty controller. Kyo sets up the console on the dining room TV with practice motions. After finishing that, she then lines up a number of game cases in front of Mio, asking her to choose one.
どれがいいって言われても困る。
Mio sweeps her troubled gaze over the cases, which all feature cute girls smiling widely on the cover, and none of them are fighting games.
どれも血のつながった妹にしか烈情を催せないいけないタイプのお兄ちゃんが主人公のお話。おすすめ。
何それ？妹？恋愛ゲームっていうのは基本的には登場人物と恋愛を楽しむゲームなのよね。
そう。
なのに相手が妹って。
Mio's eyes flicker in complete and utter bewilderment. Kyo?
何？
I think these might be too hardcore for someone looking to get into video games. You should probably start her off with something that isn't chock full of objectionable content. I can think of plenty of beginner-friendly games. Puzzle games, or fighting games, for example.
一般的ってどういうこと？ここにあるのどれもモザイクはないよ。
You know what? Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. That's not what I meant by objectionable. Weren't you saying before that all dating sims should be about dating your little sister or something like that. In Kyo's mind, the ideal relationship, the ideal of romance between a man and a woman involves a brother and his little sister. I can't speak for how popular this sentiment is. It feels pretty out there, but it is what she believes. In that case, though, I really think these games are far more niche and hardcore to be recommending to someone who has little to no experience with video games in general.
そんなことないの。妹ものばかりじゃない。幼なじみものもちゃんとあるよ。
そうなの？
For example, for some reason, Mio perks up the minute she mentions that. Of course she did.
そうだよ。これなんかおすすめ。主人公の男の子がいろんなタイプの幼なじみばかりに囲まれて楽しい学園生活と心ときめく素敵な恋愛を謳歌しようっていうそんなお話。
幼なじみと恋愛を？
Yeah. Kyo, wait. I have this teensy tiny niggling feeling in my stomach. What is that word? Just to confirm one last time. I believe you said there are no dating sims which you can't date your little sister. Did I hear you did I hear you right when you said that?
そんなのは嘘に決まってるの。
Okay, thank God. Seriously? Because, like, this game doesn't have any.
お兄ちゃんを妹にしか性的にときめけないような特殊な性癖に目覚めさせようと思っていたのが作戦。
It's all a scheme. Please never do something like that to me ever again.
でも今はお兄ちゃんよりも幼なじみをせんのじゃなくてゲームの世界へようこそってした方が面白そうだから。
今洗脳って言わなかった？楽しい。
Ah, shit. A fucking fat finger.
今洗脳って言わなかった？楽しいって。
It's fine. Kyo somehow manages to grin cheekily and maintain her usual deadpan expression at the same time. It's an odd skill, but frankly I'm impressed. So, I have to ask, what exactly was your end goal in trying to force me to develop this extremely deviant and specific fetish?
それは
She cocks her head to one side.
性的なこと？
Listen, Kyo, that's next route, okay? You have to wait one more route, alright? I know you've been pent up. I can't.
いいからお兄ちゃんはお勉強頑張っていればいいの。
Fine. She was the one who dragged me into the conversation, but whatever. I resume my studying.
とにかくやるの。こちらはゲームを頑張るの。
Kyo then takes the disc of the childhood friend game she had recommended and places it into the game console. Incidentally, I refuse to name the title of that game. It's just a little too embarrassing.
最初は名前を決めるの。
Bro, you cannot have not just a bra shot, you have a panty shot too. Like, excuse me?
名前を？
I mean, look, to be honest, there isn't much to see there at the chest, in the chest area, but still.
そう、
主人公の？
ヒロインの。
る？
The heck? Is that a new feature I'm not aware of or something? I can't help but pause my studying to interject with a quip.
だってこれはヒロインが主人公を攻略するゲームだから。
What?
没個性的に冴えないくせに、なぜだか妙にモテモテな状態にごく近い将来成り上がる主人公が必死になってごますって。ヒロインのお尻を追いかけ回すようなゲームスタイルではなくて、たくさんの幼なじみがゲームスタート直後から一斉に我先にって僕年人な主人公を口説きに来るの。
The hell?
ヒロイン全員の好感度は最初からクライマックス状態。主人公は誰の誘いに乗るかどうかを決めるだけなの。最近の奥手な装飾系男子にも安心な素敵妄想ライフとなっております。
Right.
この手のゲームってこういうものなんだ。
I wouldn't take what she says at face value. I have too many objections to count.
とにかくそういうわけだからヒロインに名前をつけるの。
Don't put Mio, okay? Don't put Mio or any variation of it. Even after her explanation, I still can't wrap my head around the idea of naming the heroine. Doesn't that defeat the point? I don't want to put a damper on things by saying that out loud though.
とにかく名前をつければいいのね。
そう。名前を考えるのが面倒なら規制のものがあるし、主人公も変えたければそれもできるよ。
そうなの。
Mio checks the manual to read up on the bios of the various childhood friend heroines. Don't pick a tsundere and name her Mio, alright? The game really is rather oddly designed, I have to say. Even so, Mia continues to play her first ever dating sim with no issues, as far as I can tell. I gotta get back to studying. I am interested to see what happens with the girls, but I have to get my priorities straight. Focus, Yuma. I have to pass those textbooks. I need to pass those tests next week, so I can take Mio on a...
それじゃあ主人公の名前は加上優馬で。
This is not what you should have done. Not full name too, bro. What? You're making him me? My concentration breaks almost immediately. I have to admit that was depressingly quick, even by my standards. Can't you just go with the default name?
いいの。せっかくだもの。自由意志が尊重されるのならそれを利用しない手はないでしょ。
That still doesn't explain why you're using my name.
ユーマは勉強で遊んでる暇なんてないだろうから、こういうところだけでも参加させてあげようと思ったの。
Fair enough, I guess.
それじゃあヒロインはどうする？変える？
Don't name her Mio.
そうね。
ヒロインの名前を変えられるのは主人公と違って下の名前だけだけど、でも名前を既成のものから変えて設定してもちゃんと音声を自動編集して呼び合ってくれるんだよ。主人公もヒロインも。
すごいのね、最近のゲームって。コントローラーにマイクがつけられていないのは残念だけど。
Well, You don't need a microphone for this game, so there's no need. There'd be no point.
そうでもマイクで登場人物とこの場合ヒロインっていうのそういう人たちとお話できたら面白そうじゃない？
Yeah, well, you know, the first instance of that was in Hey You Pikachu, and that didn't end well. She casually remarks as she flicks through the game's manual.
ヒロインも名前変えるわ。
Don't name her Mio, alright? The decision has been made. Her gaze locks on a particular page in the manual.
このキャラにする。
He picks the class president from the protagonist class, whose family lives next door to his. She has flowing black hair, slightly almond-shaped eyes, and likes to help those around her.
私の名前つける。せっかくだから。
God damn it. Joe knows. Joe smirks in response.
何？
Nothing.
私前々からこのキャラは如月ミオにどこか似てると思って。
とにかく始めるから。
それに主人公をお兄ちゃんの名前にしてヒロインを自分の名前に設定するなんて、それはもう。
Yeah.
始めるの。
Just as Mio exits the settings menu and moves to start the game, another visitor arrives.
私はこのキャラがいいです。
God damn it.
え？
Kana, you're ruining Mio's fantasy. Kana, who at some point had entered the room, points at the game manual.
ある日突然現れた秘密をたくさん背負い込んだ遠い昔に離れ離れとなった思い出の幼馴染で、なし崩し的に主人公の家で同居を始めた押しかけ女房。
Yeah, that's Kana.
なんだか親近感を覚えてしまいます。
He's completely enamored.
服装はメイド服ではなくて割烹着ですけれど。あなたもやるの？ダメですか？ダメじゃないけど。これは主人公をヒロインたちが攻略しようと頑張るゲームなんですよね。
そうだよ。
それならゲームの主人公がユーマさんが私と如月さんのどちらを選ぶか試してみませんか？私と如月さんどちらのヒロインの頑張りがこの説明書によると空前絶後の牧年人であるらしい主人公に受け入れられて報われるのか、それを試してみませんか？そういうのなんだかちょっと面白そうです。
ああ、それなら私もその計画に参加させていただければと。
でもそういうのってできるの？ゲームなんだからプレイヤーの私が好きなようにゲームを進行させられるんじゃないの？
このゲームをそんな風に甘く見ない方がいいんだよ。
はあ
？This conversation sure is heading in some odd directions.
なあユーマ、
Don't tell me there's a character that looks like fucking Shinku as well, man. What's up?
私も参加したいんだけどこの場合どうしたらいい？
Huh? You too, Shinku?
はあ、なんだか面白そうだなと思うんだ私。
Fun for everyone but me, perhaps.
あ、そうです。せっかくなので司さんと夏目さんにも声をかけてきませんか？
Oh my god.
それはとってもいい考えだと思うの。私は一人で遊びたいんだけど。
Mia mutters that softly to herself. Her lips are pursed, and she seems a bit miffed about the way things are developing.
それではお二人を呼んできますね。私は夏目さんと歩さんのところへ行きますので、敷島さんは司さんをお願いしてもいいでしょうか？
了解。
The two then scurry off, leaving us alone in the dining room. Angie Mio. Why is she glaring at me so viciously?
私は一人で楽しみたかったの。
I know, but well, not much we can do now.
何？一体何が始まるの？もしかして美味しいことでしょうか？
ですね。
Kana proceeds to give a brief explanation of what's happening to our newcomers.
美少女ゲームを？
はい、そうなんです。
私はパスで見てる方がいいかな。
Yasu's hand shoots into the air.
やります。私やります。
Honestly, I doubt Tsukasa understands a single word of what Kana said just now. She just wants to join in since everyone else is doing it.
僕はどうしようかな。
せっかくなんで一緒にやりましょうよ、歩さん。
He nods.
わかった。ところで美少女ゲームとは一体どのような遊びなのでしょうか？
I knew she didn't take any of it in. Doesn't even know the first thing about what these games are.
これはね、幼なじみと幼なじみが幼なじみの枠を飛び越え、晴れて幼なじみから恋人以上になりましょう。
You're saying
遊び。
you're saying childhood friend a little too many times.
幼な
Osananajimi. Get it right, Tsukasa.
な。
Cute. Tsukasa hangs her head, face beat red. She must have stuttered.
ともかくやるの。みんな自分の名前をつけるキャラを選んで。
Yeah, pick the literally me characters.
私と如月さんはもう決まっているので、あとはお二人が選べばゲームスタートですね。
私は、そうですね。このお方で行くのです。
Her character is the most pompous and sophisticated young lady in the school. She hails from a family of self-made millionaires. Years ago, when her family was impoverished, she wandered to the park near midnight on Christmas Day, stomach empty. Thereupon she met the protagonist, who shared his half-eaten croquette with her. That's why she's a childhood friend too. Bit of an odd choice. I can't really decide if she's like you or not. Also, can you really call her a childhood friend? You'd only had a single chance encounter as kids. Surely that doesn't count. Yeah, like Kana.
私はこれでこの妹キャラで
Fucking hell. Wait, what? I thought the selling point of this game was childhood friends.
そうだよ。妹は小さな頃からずっと一緒なんだから、幼馴染としてはそれ以上の条件はないって思うの。
Oops. Oh, that's why childhood friend and sister are different words. Oh, okay. I guess we're just throwing all rules out the window now.
それじゃあ僕は
The trap. I mean, he falls into a pensive silence.
僕はこの主人公とは小さい頃から一緒に遊んでいた気心の知れた悪友で
Since bro is in quotations, that means it's a tomboy. I can't believe you can even change the names of minor characters like the protagonist's male friend. Right. Game sure has a strange attention to detail. In any case, everyone has finished inputting their names.
始めます操作は私がするのよろしくお願いします
One sec. Can I make one quick request before you guys begin?
何
According to the manual, there's still one character we haven't done anything with.
そうですね夏目さんが参加されるならちょうど全員埋まるんですが
You guys mind if I choose a name for that character?
別にいいけど
What do you want to name her? Mio asks me as she returns to the name setting screen. Shinku! Yo! You said the last name wasn't changeable, right? So just put in Shinku for her first name, please. Cute. You said you wanted to play too, didn't you? I figured I'd jump in since there was still one left, and no one took. You're not upset at me, are you?
いやそんなことないけどでもなんだかちょっとこそばゆいなこれは
He smiles bashfully. I hope that I at least made her a teensy bit happy by doing this.
しんく
Mia fumbles around the letter screen until she completes the name.
これでいい
Yep, thanks. You're not even gonna question it?
ところでこれって誰なの
Okay, thank you. It's my mom's name? Nah, come up with a better excuse, bro.
ほら
Ouch. She flicks my forehead.
なんだよそれは
Well, anyway, that's all I wanted.
ふん
Still looking a bit perplexed, Mio proceeds to start the game. Press the start button. With the setup finally complete, the game begins. Text scrolls along the bottom of the screen. Prologue. The world as I know it is corrupted. It is filled with filth and grime. I, Kano Yuma, prefer normalcy, normality, averageness, mediocrity, ordinariness. Yeah, I prefer them to the point that you could say I love them. Yet, this world I live in, it is teeming and crawling with abnormalities so sick and repulsive that I can hardly bring myself to look at them. Take the situation, for example.
もういつまで寝てるの？もう朝だよ。
He's so busted. My childhood friend from next door comes to wake me up every wake me every morning.
ほら早く起きて起きて起きて。
Also, was the speech that game Yuma made the same one that Yuma made at the start of the game? I don't know, but look, there's already too many parallels between this game and Urasekai, so I wouldn't be surprised. Marches into my room at this ungodly hour of the morning without any hint of reservation and pulls my blanket off, crying good morning into my ear.
おはようおはよう。今日も素敵な朝だよ。
Look at her. She's so abnormal. What did I do to deserve this torture? I thought these absurdities only happened in the world of fiction. Yet, for some reason, I'm surrounded by childhood friends sprouting up at every turn. A childhood friend here, a childhood friend there, a childhood friend everywhere. I can't escape them, no matter what. This world is rotten to the core.
もうどうして起きてくれないかな。
And of course, the character Mio is voiced by Mio. My childhood friend next door puts her hands on her hips and pouts at me.
でもユーマの寝顔かわいい。 違う。
Losing her patience, the real Mio shouts out. She seems unusually agitated.
このゲームいろいろ言いたいことあるけど、こんなの私じゃない。
You're right, that isn't you. It is a character with your name on it. Right.
私だけど、私じゃないから。
Yeah, I know.
なんだかペロペロしたくなっちゃう寝顔だよ。
The game Mio definitely isn't a tsundere.
違うんだったら。
We know. Don't worry.
30秒以内に起きてくれないと今日のお弁当抜きなんだぞ。ちょっと何笑ってるの？だって如月さんが首にだぞだなんて。
Just the mere thought of you saying something like that is so funny, Kana continues laughing.
人事だと思って。
こんなところでつまずいてたら先に進めないの。
Yeah, you're gonna end up doing what I do and do exactly what this is, and yeah.
それに自分で名前を設定したんだからこれくらいは我慢してほしいところなの。
You can't change it now. Mia resumes advancing the text, gritting her teeth in frustration all the while.
もうしょうがないな。ユーマ、今すぐ起きてくれないとほっぺにチュッてしちゃうかも。
Yes, she did. Mio's face turns bright scarlet. Frankly, she looks as though she's about to faint. The game then switches back to the protagonist's point of view. So if I don't get up, she says she'll kiss me on the cheek. God, I'm really in a fictional world. My head hurts so much. This is disgusting. It's downright sickening. I'm about to puke my guts out. A choice then displays on the screen. 1. Let her kiss you. 2. Get up.
2番で
Wake up, take a shit, get out of bed. No kiss then?
するわけないでしょそんなこと
So, you're not selecting whether or not you want to kiss me. Okay, hold up. This is getting kind of confusing.
そうかキスはまだまだお預けか
Mio smashes the button repeatedly on choice 2.
さっさと目覚ましなさいよこのダメ男
Why do I feel like the one being verbally assaulted here? The second option has thus been chosen, and the protagonist wakes up. Rubbing his eyes, he then speaks. Be gone, you filthy whore. That is not Yuma. Just because the name on the screen says Yuma doesn't mean it's Yuma. The controller falls from Mio's hands. Get your ugly face out of my sight. Wow, this protagonist is pretty mean.
主人公のヒロインたちに対する好感度はマイナスから始まるの。
Yeah, so he's the worst kind of protagonist for an eroge. Doesn't that basically make this game just as difficult as any typical dating sim?
この男空前絶後の僕年人だから。
A bitch. That's what I'm saying. I feel like this entire game's concept is a little messed up. You don't say.
僕年人と書いてツンデレと読むから。
Somehow I highly doubt that. Actually, didn't Kyo say this game was a relaxing fantasy for boys who couldn't talk to a girl in real life? I'm getting changed right now. So get the hell out of my room. Get the hell out of my room within 2 seconds or I'm calling the cops and getting you arrested for illegally trespassing. Do not come anywhere near me ever again.
そんなこと言わずに一緒に学校行こうよ
Go back to the shitty anime world from whence you came. This game version me is far too foul-mouthed. Kyo said that he initially doesn't like any of the girls, but this goes way beyond that. He has a vehement hatred of them, it seems.
私一人で学校に行かせてそれで他の誰かに告白されたりしてもいいの
Good. Hang on,
そんな冷たいところがまた素敵
Good. I hope he rapes you too while he's at it. What the fuck?
そんな冷たいところがまた素敵
Listen, Mia, whatever her default name was, you deserve better. Alright. Also, the girl in this game appears to have a few screws loose as well. So much so that I almost empathize with the protagonist. Perhaps the world in this game really is abnormal, as he says. The real world Mio was trembling. Mio?
せっかく私が頑張って起こしたのに。
Huh?
どうしてあんなひどいこと言うの？
Don't look at me. Back to the game, the protagonist gets changed and eats his breakfast.
お兄ちゃん、おはよう。今日もいいお天気だね、お兄ちゃん。
Of course, it's fucking Kyo.
お兄ちゃん、今日は何時くらいに帰ってくるの？お兄ちゃん。お兄ちゃん、帰ってきたら大事なお話があるの。週末の予定のことなんだけどね。私とデートしてほしいかなって思うんだよ、お兄ちゃん。
This conversation seems to be going nowhere. If it can be even if it can even be called a conversation in the first place, given how the protagonist keeps giving her the cold shoulder.
この主人公はね、こんなにも可愛い妹をわざと見えないふりするの。それも徹底的に。
Why would he do something so mean?
実前で兄のことを無条件に好きだなんていうのはリアルには到底あり得ることではないからって。
Who hurt this protagonist? Like, why is he so paranoid? It feels like he's wholly incapable of trusting anyone else other than himself.
この妹が主人公を口説くのが一番難易度が高いんだよ。
Kyo sighs as she reflects, I assume, on her own prior struggles.
お兄ちゃん、週末は服とか買いたいし、見たい映画もあるし、普段外出できない私だからとっても楽しみにしてるね、お兄ちゃん。
The little sister, undaunted, continues to speak to her brother joyfully. It's such a sad sight. Leaving his somewhat bizarre little sister at home, she suffers from an illness supposedly, and can't go to school because of this. The protagonist begrudgingly heads to school alongside his childhood friend, who lives next door. As they walk, they eventually run into someone.
危ないです。そこをどいてください。
Yep, of course. The girl who has donned Hana's name falls from an electricity pole in the process of attempting to save a kitten who has climbed up there and couldn't get down, of course. Wow, this guy seriously just moved to the side without even saying a word. Sickening. He then carried on to school like usual. Huh?
ひどすぎます。こんなのは私がかわいそうです。
Kana, you're hurting me. For some reason, she's grabbing hold of my collar and is now shaking me back and forth with reckless abandon. Back to the game, the protagonist finally arrives at school. He walks to his classroom and slides open the door.
おはよう、ユマ。
His best friend, Ayumu, who sits in front of him in class, immediately greets him. Ayumu stiffens, terrified of what sort of abrasive language he might be subject to next. Hey there, Ayumu. Protagonist smiles. The protagonist looks at his male friend and greets him casually, cordially, and calmly. No insults, no anger.
この友人キャラは主人公にとって唯一普通で心休まる相手なんだって。
Okay. The bell rings. Before class starts, the transfer student is introduced. It's gonna be Shinku. Wait. Yeah. No, it isn't. Never mind. Of course it isn't. I was like, it can't be Shinku, right? It's gonna be Kana, but yeah. The somewhat loony girl makes a peace sign and winks at as she flies into the classroom.
素敵に可愛いあなただけの幼馴染がさっそう登場なのですよ。
Go commit die. That's an old one. Mac. Kana, what are you doing? I suddenly hear a strange noise from Kana, who's been sitting next to me watching the screen. I look over to find that she slammed her head into the table. Are you okay? That was a really loud bang.
大丈夫です。何でもありませんよ。
She looks at me and smiles.
バカみたいな言葉が悪くなってすみません。とにかく私のおつむの弱そうなセリフ自体にもめまいがしましたけれど、何よりももしかしてゲーム内のユーマさんのセリフがこちら側のユーマさんの本音とシンクロしているんじゃないのかって、そんな風に思えてきたなんてことはまるでないですよ。
Kana, that is the worst thing you could have said to Yuma. Well, actually, no. Considering he doesn't know how he doesn't know how suicidal she is. What are these noises? Mio, on the other hand, is seething as she continues to press the button and advance the game along. It's a little frightening. I raise my hand. This game is kind of crazy, so I suggest we stop now, before we all lose our sanity.
いやよ。
Huh?
ここまで来てやめられない。そうですね、その通りです。こんな好き放題に言われっぱなしでは悔しいですもん。
Look, I'm sure Yumu doesn't want to see any more, right? Right?
絶対このユーマを攻略してみせるんだから。
I kind of feel like we've lost sight of the original aim behind all of this. The bell rings. It's lunchtime in the game.
ユーマ、今日もお弁当作ってきてよ。一緒に食べよう。
What did you make? What did you make it with? Shit. What he said was so awful that I had to censor it. Well, I already know what it was actually.
もう二度とユーマにはお弁当作らないかも。
Why not?
それではユーマさん、昼食私とご一緒いたしませんか？
I'd rather jump out the window next to me. Ben. Come on, please don't cry.
ユーマ、僕も一緒に昼食を食べていいかな？
Sure, you're more than welcome.
何よこの変わりよ。殺意を覚えるんだけど。ごめん。
Eh,
一ノ瀬くんが謝ることじゃないけど。
Let's go somewhere and eat our lunches together. I picked something up for us from the store earlier. Do you mind if we go to the rooftop? I don't like this classroom.
でもあの二人は？
Who? Why are you looking at those disgusting pieces of trash? Gosh, you're so silly. The two girls are thus left in the dust. All they can do is stand there and mope. Stop glaring at me, please.
しは私がかわいそうになってきました。
Please don't cry over this. It's just a game. Bell chimes. School day is now over in the game.
ねえねえユーマ、来週末空いてる？もしも暇なら一緒にどこかに遊びに行かない？いえいえユーマさん、その日はぜひ私と映画を見に行きましょう。転校してきてすぐな私なので、ついでにこの街の案内をしてもらえれば、私はきっとそれだけの優しさでどんなに嫌なことでも許してしまえるくらいにはあなたにメロメロになっちゃうかもです。
Jesus, that was a mouthful.
そういえば今朝妹にもデートに行こうって誘われてたような気がするけど。
The little sister. Question. And this is a very belated question. But how on earth is a person like how protagonist so popular with girls? I hesitate to speak too badly of him, given that he's got my name, but I'm sort of coming to believe that maybe he is right, and this world is as abnormal as he says. Still, the truth remains that he has been asked out on a date by 3 separate girls in the span of a single day. Is it his plot armor that comes with being a video game character? Maybe so, but even then, it still seems a bit far-fetched. Back to the game. Another choice appears. 1. Hang out with Mio. 2. See a movie with Kana. 3. Go out with your little sister and apologize for ignoring her.
ここはやっぱり私を選ぶわよね。
Yes, because I'm doing your route. But, you know, if I was doing Kana's route, I'd pick 2, and if I was doing Kyo's route, I'd pick 3. And if I was doing Tsukasa's route, well, this isn't in any other route. I'm gonna refrain from answering that question.
ここはあえて3を選択して妹と一気に距離を縮めるというのもあり？
I'm not answering anything, so stop looking at me. You guys are the ones who playing, not me, so I shouldn't get a say in what choices you picked, right?
そうね。それじゃあ1で。ちょっとおかしいですよ。ちゃんと平等に選んでくださいよ。あなたはさっきこっぴどく振られたじゃない。死ねばいいのにって。それなのに2を選ぶなんて不自然。
Yeah, but Mio, Game Yuma told Kana to die. Told Game Kana to die. Told Game Mio she's disgusting, and didn't say anything to Game Kyo. So if anything, the ignoring is better. Oh.
如月さんだって振られてましたよ。
Yeah. See? She gets it.
私はまだ登場さえしていませんけど。
とにかくプレイ権は私にあるんだから私が選ぶの。
With that, Mio selects the first option. I think I'll play video games with the Yumu next weekend. It did not matter. Your choices do not matter in this game.
今の選択肢のどこにあゆもさんの文字があったんですか？
That'll be a lot of fun.
しかもなんだかすごく嬉しそうです。
Look, all I'm gonna say is I think Yuma likes guys. Like, you know. So Kyo, the protagonist just completely ignored the choice that was made. If he's just going to do that, then Why are there even choices in the first place?
主人公はツンデレだから。
That doesn't justify the illusion of choice. I'm not sure that attitude is supposed to extend to the player too.
みんな初々しいよね。こういうのは最初が一番楽しいんだよね。
It's also the most boring part. Suzu laughs heartily in response to our visible confusion. I don't think you can really call us naive for being baffled by all the unpredictable stuff that happened in this game.
なあ、私はいつ登場するんだ？
I'm waiting for Shinku's character to show up. Shinku asks as she appears at the television screen.
司も私と同じで登場がまだだけど、なんだか待ちかねちゃうぞ。
Let me check. I flip open the manual and locate the character we chose for Shinku. 50 years ago, she graduated as part of the school's first graduating class. Now she's a spirit bound to the student council room, who calls her the student council president. Wait. Now she's bound to the... Oh, yeah. Although she hasn't realized it yet, she died a long time ago. What a weird backstory. Yeah, though I guess it does resemble Shinku a little bit.
その子はね、
She shows up at the end of the game.
ヒロイン全員のエンディングを見ないことには登場もルート開放もされないの。
Bro, it's just fucking Arasaka, except everyone is insufferable. Except Ayumu. Ayumu's great. Yeah, as always. So that means you're gonna have to wait ages and ages until Shinku makes her appearance?
そうだね。なるほど。エンカウント自体が希少なのか、私は。ミオはそこまで続けてくれるのかな？
I'm sure she will. Well, see it for yourself.
この主人公もいでやりたい。いろいろと今すぐに。
Bro, Mio gets it, alright? She understands shitty protagonists deserve death, alright? Chances are looking pretty slim, I'd say. Aw, Shinku. Shinku and I exchange an awkward smile.
それで私はどういったタイミングで登場するのでしょうか？
司のキャラはまだなの。
まだ？
うん。追加パッチをネットで購入しないとダメなの。ヒロ
Nah.
インが随時増えていくっていうのもこのゲームの売りだから。
Tsukasa's character is in the Vandisc version of this game.
うん。
What? Why was she making those noises with that face?
説明書に司のキャラの自己紹介が書いてあったのは次回追加登場予定のキャラだからカミングスーンなの。
What? Then why is she an option?
どういうことでしょう？
It means that that her character isn't even part of the game yet.
司は出てこないの。今私が持ってるデータ状況では。
そういうことは早く言ってほしいのです。
The game continued. We'd now made it through 4 weeks, around 1 month of in-game time. And the in-game Kana has died because of the butterflies in her brain. Apparently, those 4 weeks are what's known as the common route. Well, thankfully, the common route in this game doesn't span 4 weeks, because Kana would have died. After that, the game branches off onto the route of whichever girl you've garnered the most affection with. Guess I'll play Monster Hunter in my room all day long. Protagonist is secluding himself from the outside world. This is the final day of the common route. The choices made here will impact the direction of the game will impact the direction the game goes in next.
ダメ。今日は外出。外へ出るの。
Neo commands the protagonist to go outside by selecting the option from the menu. In the game world, today is a weekend. Whenever there is no school, the player also is able to choose what the protagonist does with his free time. Study, go outside, make a phone call, play inside. Those are the 4 options available for our protagonist.
ちょっと、どういうことなのよ、この主人公。
Neo picked the option to go outside so that our protagonist could spend time with the heroines. I'm going to become a god in the world of Monster Hunter. Unfortunately, our protagonist isn't budging an inch. His little sister is knocking frantically on the door, calling out to him repeatedly and asking him to open it. His childhood friend from next door is throwing stones at his bedroom window at a rate of 2 to 3 a minute. I'll hunt down every last bit of filth in this fictional world with my trusty sword. In the end, our protagonist stays put in his room without interacting with anyone. Bad end. He acts in complete defiance of the player's choice for himself to go outside. Why does this guy stay so willfully ignorant of his surroundings? Actually, the better question is, why does he have such a deep hatred of fictional tropes? Maybe he suffered some sort of dramatic trauma at some point in his life. I'd feel kind of sorry for him, to be honest. One textbook after another. Finally, the common route has come to an end. Without our protagonist having made any progress with any of the girls. In the end, no one was able to mend his twisted heart. I'm guessing we're headed down onto a bad ending. Can't help but foresee a depressing conclusion awaiting us. Back to the game, the girls must have grown tired of waiting for our apathetic protagonist to act. All of the heroines who have appeared thus far swarm his room. Wow. They're really taking matters into their own hands. Then all 3 of the girls confess their love to the protagonist. Mio holds her hand, asking him to go out with her and never leave her. Kana goes for an uncharacteristically simple I love you. Meanwhile, Kyo flutters her eyelashes at him, proclaiming him to be her one and only Oni-chan. Trio begins to draw closer and closer to him. At that point, a choice appears. 1. Take the hand of your childhood friend who lives next door, Mio. 2. Accept the confession of the lonely girl Kana who suddenly appeared out of nowhere one day. 3. Make up for the horrible way you continuously treated your little sister by showering her with love.
ここは慎重に選ばないとね。
Sure? Because clearly you're gonna pick 1.
そうですね。その通りですよ、如月さん。
1で。
No way!
即答じゃないですか。
今は私がプレイしてるんだから、私の自由にさせてよ。
でも少しは選ぶの考えてくださいよ。それじゃユマさんが誰を選ぶかなんて実験になっていませんよ。
それならプ うしたらいいのよ。
2を選択すればいいと思います。さっきの選択肢でも如月さん寄りの選択をしたんですから、これで平等というものです。
こんな重要な場面での選択に平等も何もないと思うけど。
それなら中を取ってここは選択肢3を選ぶということで。
There is no compromise, Kyo. I don't know what you're getting at.
中を取っても意味なんてないって思うけど。
Here, I have an idea.
何？
Why don't you settle it with rock, paper, scissors? I guess that's a bit too random, yeah. Random, yeah.
それがユーマさんの選択ですか？
What? I mean, I don't know if I'd really call it my choice or anything.
わかった。じゃんけんしましょう。
そうですね。
恨みっこなしで。
The three of them nod. They each individually go through their favored rituals to increase their winning odds. It's what everyone does here. For example, one ritual would be bringing your fists together and peering through the gap. Tsukasa, being unable to participate, looks a bit left out. She's frowning and staring at them with her finger in her mouth. What? Hey, Tsukasa, you want to have some ice cream with me?
アイスですか？
Yeah, I bought a bunch to eat when I was done with my studying.
それはとっても美味しそうです。
I don't think he's done with his studying. What? She says, fidgeting.
それはお兄さんの勉強後でのお楽しみなんですよね。
Yeah, but I think I brought a few too many, so whatever I don't eat whatever I don't eat would have to be thrown away, probably. I don't want to throw anything away, so it'd be great if you could help me eat them.
本当にいいのでしょうか？
Yeah, of course.
ありがとうございます、お兄さん。
I'm overcome with relief as Tsukasa finally breaks into a smile.
これはコンビニで他のアイスとは別価格に隔離されているちょっとお高いアイスなのです。
Tsukasa savors the ice cream as she kicks her legs joyfully under the table. It's a somewhat endearing sight, so I simply sit and watch her for a bit. Oh? From the sound of it, the rock, paper, scissors game has concluded. The winner is...
やっぱりこれが正解よね。この
Of
場合。
of course Mio won. Mio. She looks more than pleased. It's the most genuine smile I've seen from her all day. Very carefully, Mio moves to select option 1 and presses the button.
これで私のキャラのお話になるのよね。
Nope. Bad end. Doorbell then rings.
何？
Leaving the three girls in his room, the protagonist goes to open the door. Nah, a Yumu ending?
おはよう。ちょっと暇ができたから寄ってみたんだけど、迷惑だったかな？
Of course not. Wanna go hang out somewhere? I was just getting bored myself. The two then nonchalantly leave the house. As per usual, he completely ignores the girls.
ちょっとこの男、どこへ行く気なの？まだ私のお返事を聞いてないのに。というか、さっきはあんなに 外出を拒否していたのに、これってどういうことなの？
Because he's clearly gay for a Yumu. Man, the weather's so nice today. There's not a cloud in sight.
そうだね。眩しいくらいの青空だ。
A perfect day like this is best spent hanging out with you, Ayumu. Ayumu and I walk along together, gazing up at the azure sky. Anything in particular you want to do?
ユームが一緒なら、僕はどこでも。
Alright. Since we've got the whole day to ourselves, why don't we take a little trip? We'll have so much fun that we'll forget all about the fictional tropish filth polluting this world. Thus we set forth on this new adventure, on this new journey in our lives. Today, tomorrow, and the day after, forever and ever. We continue to foster the strengthen the bonds of our friendship, molding it into something durable and lasting. Credits. Ayumu and... What? The fuck did I just witness? Then a possible explanation pops into my head. Did our protagonist just completely ignore the will of the player and choose male companionship over any of the girls? Bros before hoes, I guess. Does someone need to remind this guy that he's the protagonist of a game designed around dating girls?
ねえユーマ、これってどういうことなの？どうなってるの
？3人とも振られちゃったってこと。
What a game.
あんなにいっぱい頑張ったのに？この男。
If looks could kill, the stone cold gaze in her eyes right now would have the power to feel even God, to fell even God. Gods. Yes. I'm downright terrified.
ちゃんと選択肢を私寄りに選んだのに、それなのにどうしてこんなに言うことを聞いてくれないの？
I'm waiting for the walkthrough, the guide explanation. Neo attempts to press the start button, but the credits won't stop.
これは引き分けですよね。
引き分け？
はい、主人公がヒロインではない歩夢さんとの友情を選んだんですから、白昼拮抗、五分と五分です。ヒロインの私も如月さんも選ばなかったということは、そういうことですよね。
そうかも。
もう一回最初からですか？
またこれを一からやらなくちゃいけないなんて。
All of a sudden,
あれ？何か始まったけど？
credits end. The game continues. This must be the epilogue.
ユーマ、今日は楽しかった。海に行ったり映画に行ったり買い物に行ったり、久しぶりに子供に戻ったみたいに遊べて面白かったよ。
Yeah, I want to be friends forever, even after graduation.
友達、
Ayumu?
実を言うと僕はユーマに秘密にしていることがあるんだ。
That Ayumu was a girl the whole time. Huh?
今日は思い切ってその秘密を打ち明けようと思うんだけど。
What's going on? There's suddenly a very thick tension in the air. I don't like where this is headed.
できれば驚かないで聞いてほしいんだけど。
Ayumu was a cat all along. Sure.
実は僕、いや、私、男じゃなくて
No
女の子なんだ。
way. It's almost like boy was in quotations. Mio and Kana both freeze. Mio drops the controller. Kana's face is stuck in the form of a smile. What in the...
隠しヒロインの一人なんだよ、このキャラは。
Yeah, if only Yuyumu was a secret heroine. But we already know his backstory. His and her, technically. Huh? A secret heroine?
れっきとした攻略対象キャラで、これはあゆむちゃん専用ルートの一部。とあるのっぴきならない事情によって女の子を隠し続けていなくてはいけなかった訳ありな子なの。
What?
こんな私でも、こんなユーマにずっと嘘をついてきた悪い子な私でも、友達でい
Oops.
てくれるかな。
Bro, he hate...
こんな私でも、こんなユーマにずっと嘘をついてきた悪い子な私でも、友達でいてくれるかな。
You want to be friends? Are you kidding? That's repulsive.
大丈夫。ほら、この男はこういうことが大嫌いなはずだから、きっと私たちにしたようにこっぴどくこのキャラを拒否して。
I want you to marry me. What a game. Honestly, never make it. Don't make the game ever. Crash. Mio lifts her arm about to slam the controller on the floor, but quickly uses her better judgment. She's trembling all over. Bro. Honestly, relatable.
リセット。もう一回やる。
そうですね。今度こそユマさんを健全な道へと導きましょう。
You guys have totally forgotten your original objective here.
あゆむさんと合体したいと言うんですか、ユマさんは。
I mean, you know, if Ayumu was a girl, maybe... What? I didn't say that. What the heck are you trying to accuse me of? Nah, not the misunderstandings again. Ayumu,
僕は男の子だから。
I know. He knows. Yeah, I know. I know you are. 1 hour has passed since our second playthrough began. I don't know, Mio. Maybe you should go through a guide so you can guarantee your route. The entire dining room is now a scene out of a horror movie. It's like a scene out of a horror movie. Mio's eyes are laser focused on the screen as she mutters grumpily under her breath and continues to press the button to advance the story. Kana, on the other hand, is slamming her head against the dining room table repeatedly. He's completely lost it.
お兄さん、アイス美味しかったです。ありがとうございます。
Tsukasa is so cute. At least Tsukasa seems happy. The same can't be said of anyone else. Also, they ate ice cream for an hour.